There are some non-obvious daily habits that almost no one knows about that can significantly improve your pain and mobility if you're over 50. In today's video, I'm going to reveal 3 of those things. If you don't know who I am, my name is Phil Evans. I'm a physiotherapist here at Urban Body Physiotherapy, based in Solihull, where we specialise in helping people over 50s stay healthy, mobile and active. So today I'm going to be revealing 3 non-obvious daily habits that are going to improve both your pain and mobility. So what I could do in this video if I wanted to is to list the really obvious things that are proven to improve your pain and mobility. Things like walking your 10,000 steps a day, things like not being overweight or obese, not smoking, keeping a healthy diet, eating plenty of protein and loads of different food sources, making sure that your muscles are strong and your joints are mobile. But those things are pretty obvious. So my goal for today's video is to give you 3 things that I don't meet many people doing or they're just not aware of. And I feel that if you incorporate this into a daily habit, you get some fantastic results. So the first non-obvious habit that can improve pain and mobility for the over 50s is to work on thoracic extension. So let me explain what I mean by thoracic extension. So here we have our spine, okay? And as you can see, we have lots of vertebrae. We start off with the 7 cervical vertebrae, which is your neck. We then have 12 thoracic vertebrae, which is like your chest and your mid-back. And that leads on to 7 lumbar vertebrae, which is your lower back. And so, unfortunately, we all sit down for far too long nowadays, whether we're driving, whether we're sitting at a desk, whether we're watching TV. And what happens is that we gradually start slumping. And as we age with gravity, it makes it even worse. And it's just real subtle changes. And that makes us flex our thoracic and that makes us slump. Okay, so we then lack that thoracic extension, which is standing nice and tall and getting your thoracic in that extended position. If we struggle with thoracic extension, what can happen is that we get really stiff, and that stiffness then causes problem above and below. So for example, if the thoracic isn't moving, your neck then has to overload to compensate for that lack of mobility. And likewise in your lumbar spine. And over time, you can start getting some gradual aches and pains in your neck and your lower back because of poor thoracic extension. Not only that, it can also cause shoulder problem. Same principle that if your thoracic doesn't move very well, a particular extension, the shoulder then overloads and you start developing rotator cuff impingements and some shoulder ache, and that can soon develop into much more significant pain. So how do you improve your thoracic extension? So for the best way I find is to get yourself a foam roller, which is basically a hard tube with some foam on the outside. You can easily get this online for pretty cheap, or you can just get yourself a towel and roll it up like so. For people that struggle to get on the floor, you can do this on your bed as long as it's a hard bed. And then pop yourself on the foam roller. I'm actually going to put a towel over mine so it's more comfortable. What I want to do then is hop on and then lie back onto the foam roller, and it's right in the middle of your thoracic. And for the ladies, it's roughly around the bra strap. Okay, so I want you to just come onto that and then bend your knees and just keep your pelvis and your lower back really still and just relax into it. Okay, and you might feel a little bit of a pop, a bit of a crack in your upper back. Okay, and then all I want you to do is to take some deep breaths in and out and just try and relax into it and just hold that for a minute, maybe 2. It's quite likely that you're going to feel a bit of discomfort, and that's okay as long as it's not pain. Discomfort is okay. After you've been there for a couple of minutes, just wiggle yourself around and just come on to a new segment and go again. The key things that I do want you to be aware of though is that you maintain your core stability and keep it nice and tight, because what you'll find is that you'll just go all the way back here, and all that's happened is that I've arched my back and my thoracic is now not getting extended or stretched. Okay, so tuck your pelvis under, maybe even try and flatten it against the floor, and then just relax into it. You can cross your arms, you can even take your arms above your head. Whatever you find you get the biggest stretch with. Do that for a couple of minutes on each vertebrae, and do that every day. You'll see some huge effects. The second non-obvious exercise is to stretch your calves. So within your calf, you've got two muscles. You've got a muscle called your gastrocnemius and your soleus. And as we age, typically our ankles get stiffer and stiffer. If our ankles get stiffer, the same principle as what I discussed with the thoracic, if the joint gets stiff, the one above gets loaded differently, the one above might get loaded again. So all of a sudden, a stiff ankle causes knee problems, hip problems, even back trouble. So the best way to stretch your calf, I'm going to give you two exercises for a calf stretch. So you want to lean against the wall, okay? And I'm going to stretch my left calf. I want you to take your left leg back, try and keep the heel on the floor. And then I just want you to just move your body forwards, and you should feel a nice stretch all the way down the back of the leg. So hold that for a good 60 to 90 seconds. Again, make sure there is no pain and it's just a stretch. So that's how you stretch the gastrocnemius. The other muscle, the soleus, what I want you to do is to take the leg that you're stretching, get it quite close to the wall, keep your heel on the floor, and I just want you to take your knee to the wall, and you'll feel a slightly different stretch down the back of the calf, but both of them are really going to change and improve your ankle flexibility. So with that second stretch, also hold it for 60 to 90 seconds and do that on a daily basis. So the third and final exercise that I want to go through today is how to get off the floor. Unfortunately, as we age, we increase the risks of falls. And one of the biggest problems that I hear is that people, when they do fall, they just cannot simply get back off the floor. So if we can strengthen and train you now, before we have any sort of falls, the less likely you are to have the falls and the much safer you are to get off the floor. So, first exercise, grab yourself a chair, and I just want you to come down onto your knees, and from here, we're going to have, whichever your stronger leg is at the front, I want you to hold onto the chair for balance, not to pull, okay? It's important that if you do pull, you're going to pull yourself back, the chair will come with you, and you'll be on the floor again. So, this is purely for balance. What I want you to do is to put all your weight through the front leg, and then push and drive up, okay? So there's stage one. Let's make that a little bit tougher. So come down onto here and then come onto the floor. Okay. So from here, I want you to come onto all fours, holding onto the chair. I then want you to come back into that lunge position, holding onto the chair with the other hand, and then drive up. Okay. Then go back down. To make this even harder, mimic lying on the floor. So say you've had a fall, how do you get up? Let's start right to the bottom. So we are on the floor now. What do you do? All right, so we're going to wriggle around and see if we can get ourselves up onto your bum. Spin yourself round, face the chair, come into that lunge position again, and off we go. Okay? The stronger we can get our legs, the stronger we can get our trunk, the much safer the whole process will be. So those are the 3 non-obvious daily habits to improve your pain and mobility if you're over 50. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you have. so you can gain access to the new content as soon as it comes out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.